Hi everyone, this is Gadget Rev now. Xiaomi's autumn flagship proves to be one of the more exciting releases they have. One, because they match up well with the flagship of the popular brands like Samsung, Google, and Apple. And second, there's a lot of good upgrades from the previous iteration. Today we will unbox and review the new Xiaomi 15T Pro, the latest autumn flagship from Xiaomi, and with its Leica cameras, HyperAI, and powerful chip, should we consider this over the competition? We will split this review to 7 categories from design, display, performance, and cameras to battery life, and I will have the timestamp on the description below if you want to check certain areas of the phone. First, let's start with what we see just right after we unbox, and let's talk about the design. Xiaomi calls this the Golden Collection because of the golden colors of the chassis. It is a sleek rounded design that looks like Samsung and iPhone. You know, the Samsung Ultras and the iPhone Pros. This looks like an iPhone 16 Pro with quad camera setup, same looking design as last generation. The sides are metal, which is nice. You have 3 color options available: black, gray, and mocha gold. I like the color they sent me, which is gray. It feels really premium with the colors and the metal build. I like the minimalist design of 15T Pro. There's no ports and buttons on the top and the left side. You will only see the power button and volume button on the right side, and the speaker, microphone, and charging port at the bottom. This phone is IP68 water and dust resistant, so this provides protection similar to those flagship phones out there. Now, the display is really solid with that 6.83-inch eye-care display. This is not 120Hz display. It has 144Hz refresh rate, which is really fast. This is a monitor-type AMOLED screen with 447 ppi. Honestly, this display is one of the best in the market today. It supports HDR10+, Dolby Vision, with the maximum brightness that can reach up to 3200 nits. The colors are really great. It's punchy. You have deep blacks, and if you go outdoors, you would read everything in direct sunlight, regardless of light or dark theme. And with that almost 7-inch screen on a small form factor, you can barely see the bezels here. Xiaomi's latest flagship is stunning. Now, it will be a bummer if you have a great screen and design and the phone performs mediocre, so Xiaomi made sure they would give this phone a really good performance lift. They put the newest Mediatek Dimensity 9400 Plus. Remember the performance of last year's 14T Pro with Dimensity 9300 Plus? Outside Snapdragon phones, it was a really good flagship last year, and 15T Pro was able to top that performance. This processor is even comparable to Snapdragon 8 Gen Elite of the latest Samsung Galaxy S25, and whatever you do on that phone, you can also do it here with a cheaper price tag. I thought this is a really good move from Xiaomi that they offer the Mediatek processor instead of Snapdragon, because you will get more or less the same performance minus the expensive tag, and this would even cater those people who are in the mid-range segment, wanted to have the latest flagship phone. On my day-to-day activity, this phone is a real powerhouse. I can play any games, Mobile Legends, PUBG, and even Genshin Impact. I can throw some heavy apps like InShot or KineMaster, where I edit videos or shorts straight from my phone. And the power efficiency is nuts. I mean, the battery life I get from this phone, it's not just because of the big battery, but also the power-efficient chip. Our unit has 12 gigs of RAM and 1TB storage. If you're able to buy the highest configuration, I would personally recommend to get that 1TB, because here you won't be needing any cloud storage for an extra monthly charge. I mean, buy the highest storage capacity and forget about it. This phone is running on HyperOS on Android 15 out of the box. Xiaomi will provide a generous 4 years of software upgrade, so this phone is well supported. Also, this phone integrates well with the most popular Gemini AI from Google. If you are used to Google's AI engine, this is in combination of Xiaomi's HyperAI, where you can do AI writing, AI speech configuration, AI art, and AI eraser, similar to Google's Magic Eraser. If you are already impressed by the design, display, and performance, wait till you hear the camera performance of this phone. It's using Leica-tuned cameras and lens. We got a Leica-tuned triple camera setup with 50MP main sensor, another 50MP telephoto with 5x zoom, and a 12MP ultra-wide with 15mm field of view. The image quality are very consistent on all the sensors, from the ultra-wide main sensor and even the 5x telephoto. The images are bright, not saturated, but closer in reality. You got really good details on each of the images, and I like the white balance, the colors, and even the details. They are consistent across all the sensors. I also like the new camera app redesign. Now you can easily spot the items similar to a Pixel, Samsung, and even iPhone. You know, the phones that we're used to using. You won't be alienated using the camera app of this phone. Going for the video, it is as powerful or even better compared to the more popular and expensive devices out there. This phone can shoot 8K video recording that can go head-to-head with Samsung and Vivo's of the worlds. In terms of the video resolution, you have 4K 120fps that gives you really stunning slow motion. And if you decide to do some selfies, you got a 32MP sensor with 21mm focal length. The selfies are a little bit beautified. Obviously, you can turn this off on the settings. But I like how the camera AI do all the wonders. You don't have to do anything else. Once you take the shot, saves you a lot of time and effort editing the photos. I will compare this phone with the iPhone 17 Pro, the upcoming Galaxy S26, and even the Pixels. But on my initial impression, 15T Pro is one of the top smartphone camera performer out there at the end of the year. Hi everyone, this is JD of Gadget Review. This is the vlogging test on Xiaomi 15 Pro. Using the selfie camera 4K 30 FPS, let's check the zoom test on the rear cameras. So this is the rear camera on Xiaomi 15T Pro. Looks really nice. 4K 30 FPS, this is the main sensor. And this is 5x optical. Look at the details and the colors. I would do a separate camera comparison video of this phone versus iPhone 17 Pro, Galaxy S26 Ultra, and the Pixels of the world. Going for the audio review, this would matter because you're always listening to your phone, watching movies, videos, and even listening to music. This phone has dual stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos technology. It has 3 mic arrays for clear calls. The sound coming out of the speakers are really good, not overly loud. If you check the profile, it's not heavy on bass. It amplifies the mids and the highs, but most especially, it actually amplifies the voice. You can hear the voice clearly even with background music. So that's good for watching videos with background music or even phone calls. Here, I would give you a sample audio of Xiaomi 15T Pro. Which phone is better on vlogging on the ultra-wide? I bet nothing phone 3 because of the 4K 60 FPS. Now checking some connectivity specs, obviously you wanted to know what you would get from 15T Pro. This phone supports Wi-Fi 7 with dual SIM capability. Either use a physical SIM cards or 2 eSIM or combination, it doesn't matter. This phone will take it. It supports NFC for wireless payment, and we have the latest Bluetooth 6.0 that provides reliable and efficient connection on any Bluetooth devices. And don't forget, we have the fast optical fingerprint sensor that is reliable and fast. I feel it's the same sensor as last year, which is really great. Okay, now going to our last category, which is the battery. Again, with that efficient processor, I don't think this will be a problem, but Xiaomi was able to squeeze in 5,500 mAh battery on this phone. Checking my smartphone lifestyle, taking everyday calls, texts, and scrolling on social media and internet, maybe shooting photos and videos on my vlogs, and also using maps for my everyday drive. I would say this phone is an easy 1.5 day phone for me. I will still have around 30% tomorrow. This phone also has great standby time overnight. You would probably lose a couple of percentage on the battery. And if this phone goes empty, this phone has 90 watts wired hypercharge that gives you more or less an hour to fully charge the phone. Also, if you have a wireless charger, then that's great. This supports 50 watts wireless hypercharge. I don't even know if you have a lot of wireless charger in the market, but this phone is already future-proof. So what's our verdict? It's a really solid option at the end of the year. If you're looking for a flagship phone, sure, you don't have A19 Pro or Snapdragon 8 Gen Elite, but Mediatek Dimensity 9400 Plus is a good and cheaper alternative compared to those phones. You will save a lot of money for the same performance, and with its great design, bright display, long battery life, and Leica cameras that will blow your mind, Xiaomi 15T Pro is remarkable.